Gary was actually doing a songwriters show with Dave Gibson, and Dave played Good Drugs and a couple of other ones at this songwriters show, and Gary, had them send them to me, and I really love Good Drugs. I mean, that song, that's a great song. They actually pitched that song to Trace Atkins, and he turned it down because he didn't want to sing about drugs. But, listen to the song. It's not about drugs. It's about, being brought up the right way and being raised right by your parents and things like that, and character building stuff, So it's a great song. So that's how we got the songs. And then once we got the songs, I had to go in the studio and sing them. And I'm not the best singer in the world, so that was kind of a process. That Gary's good at pulling out all the stops and getting the best out of me in the studio there. So they came out sounding really good, but they sounded real.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything, and he didn't want anything to sound too overproduced, because in today's Nashville, it's very easy to overproduce a CD or a record, and I wanted mine to have some, realness to it. I mean, you can hear there are imperfections in my voice. Like I said, I'm not Vince Gill. I'm not George Jones.
Right.
Guys that are just phenomenal singers. I have some imperfections, but I want to get that to people. I like to have that. It's real. You know what I mean? It's not computerized sounding or robotic or anything. That's really me. And when you come see my live show, that's what you're going to get, is the same thing you hear on the CD. So the process was kind of tedious at times, because I couldn't quite get the line just the way we wanted it, or I couldn't phrase the word just the way we wanted it, this and that. But we got it dialed in there, and I think it came out really, really well.
Yeah, it sounds spectacular, and like you said, it sounds real. I like the fact that you equated it the best way that I think any artist should equate it. This sounds like you will hear at a live show. That is the way that I want to hear country music, and I think that's probably a good compliment. Is it sounds just like when I see you live, kind of thing. So
that's what I shoot for. I don't want to put anything out there that I can't replicate on stage, because the last thing I want is somebody to come to my show and pay their hard-earned money to come buy a ticket and come see me and walk away going, man, I might as well just took that money and threw it in the garbage or burned it in the fireplace, because that guy is terrible. He don't sound nothing like his CD, So
yeah, I should have just should have just sat in the parking lot and listened to the CD while everybody else was inside, and then I just party with everybody afterward. Yeah, I don't want that. That's for sure. So, well, Jackson, it's been a pleasure. Before we start talking about the big single off the EP, I want you to pip yourself, man. You tell us, how does everybody get in touch? How do we keep abreast of what you're doing as Jackson Delaney? You got a Twitter feed, anything like that? You let us know.
Well, I'll tell you what, the best thing y'all can do is go to my website. It's jacksondelaney.com, and from there, you can see my schedule. You can see I've got this page called The Buzz on there, which keeps up with all the news and, interviews and all the different stuff that I do. You can see what radio stations are playing my single, and if yours isn't on the list, you can call and request it. And if you want, there's links to my Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Reverb Nation. All my links are right there on my website. So just hit the website, and you can find everything else from there.
All right. Well, Jackson, again, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. And before you go, I want to ask you, tell us a little bit about Shotgun Wedding. It's the lead single off the EP. It's the verse that a lot of people are hearing about you. What made this the song that had to represent you your first time out?
Well, it's an upbeat song, which I thought was a good release for early summer. Because people are coming out of the winter doldrums and they want to get up and get excited and get out and have a good time. And that's kind of, this song is an upbeat rockin' sounding tune. But it's a great country story as well. I mean, it's about a guy and a girl that are younger, and they're in love. They think they're in love, and they get a little carried away. She winds up pregnant.
Wait, what? That's the premise of a Shotgun Wedding? Oh, I've been totally doing that the wrong way.
Yeah. So he doesn't know, the young man doesn't know if he wants to get married or not. But if he's going to run, he better be fast, because he's going to catch some buckshot from her old man, because he thinks they ought to get married. So that's what the song's about. Is written by Phil O'Donnell, Gary Hannon, Eddie Montgomery, And Troy Gentry was on this one as well. I think. I don't know if Eddie Drew from personal experience up there in Kentucky. I don't know if he or somebody he knew went through this, and that's how they come up with the storyline or not. But it's a great song, and I hope everybody hears it, likes it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the line in there. I think it's something about the preacher saw the barrel of the gun and his eyes got wider or something like that. I think it's
yeah. Daddy sawed off sticking out under his coat.
Yeah, it's not just a metaphor at that point. Well, Jackson, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. You keep doing what you're doing, man. It's the EP is spectacular. It's a self-titled EP. Go check it out. Jackson Delaney. Sir, thank you for joining us on Off the Beaten Path podcast.
Ben, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be here.
Johnson grass out behind the bar. Now he ain't got money for gas or a ticket out west. Gonna be a finger on the trigger when her daddy finds out his baby ain't been eating, but she's putting on pounds. Shotgun wedding and a boy in a bulletproof vest. Is he gonna run? Is he gonna stay? Will he say I do or I don't hardly say? And a boy in a bulletproof vest. And Betty on the organ, here comes the bride with her half-hammered daddy and his evil eye. On Sammy at the altar, sweating in his camouflage vest. Preacher man looking like he just saw a ghost. Daddy sawed off sticking out under his coat. Shotgun wedding and a boy in a bulletproof vest. Is he gonna run? Is he gonna stay? Will he say I do or I don't hardly say? Either way, it's a day this old town won't forget. Shotgun wedding and a boy in a bulletproof vest. Preacher says close your eyes, let's thank the Lord. Old Sammy sees a brick and bolts through the door. This ain't the first time that vest's been put to the test. Buckshot buzzing all around his head. It's a wonder that boy ain't never been dead. Guess he just ain't ready yet. Look at him run. He ain't gonna stay. Ain't gonna say I do, 'cause he don't, and there ain't no way. Either way, it's a day this old town won't forget. Shotgun wedding and a boy in a bulletproof vest. Just look at him run. Find out who your friends are.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/offthebeatenpath. And follow us on Twitter at OTBP Podcast.
Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging, sifting from 5 till 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flow free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Dance hall girls was the evening treat. Empty cartridges and bloodline, the gutters of the street. Men were shot down for the sake of fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man she couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun and carried fame. All for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Waiting for me there. Waiting for me there.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. There you go. That's Chris Hennessy, just like Tennessee. That's actually something he says a lot. That's Chris Hennessy with his tune, Fire on the Mountain. Ben Merritt taking you through all kinds of great new country music. And again, Chris is a good one. He's on tour currently with Jamie Johnson, which means that recently he opened for Kid Rock. Also means that he's been on the Opry stage. And this is another big one. This is big, like, small artist doing big things kind of episode. But it's very, very, strangely enough, very important if you get this gig. He played at Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic. Big deal. Really, really big deal. So, because Willie has to hand pick you to play there. So that means that Willie Nelson is a big fan of Chris Hennessy. So check him out on Facebook and Twitter. It's easy. It's Chris Hennessy. And again, you spell it like Tennessee. Just take the T and make it an H. It's easy. So it's Hennessee. Hennessee. I just like the way that comes off the tongue. Anyway, moving on. Again, Off the Beaten Path podcast. Again, thanks to our friend Jackson Delaney. He and I, we kind of bonded. I think, former high school athletes. He way better athlete than I was. Wow. Tommy John surgery at that young of an age, it is a big question mark whether or not you're going to continue on.